Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So, in the previous lecture, we have started with our last part of our unit number 2, that is rate analysis. We will take a quick recap of the same and then we will proceed further. Uh, what is rate analysis and what parameters we are going to discuss in this? So, what is rate analysis? Rate analysis is nothing but the process of determining the rate of an atom with respect to the specifications is termed as the analysis of rate or rate analysis. So, actually, we are going to determine the rates of the atom with respect to the specifications. So, whatever the specifications are there for your particular work, with respect to your specifications only, we are going to determine the rates of the material. It may be of the material or it may be of the manpower, that is labor wages. So the process of determining such rates which are required for the material purchase or for the labor wages or for any other purpose, that we consider it as a rate analysis. So the rate of particular atom of the work, it depends on the some parameters. Now which parameters? That are specifications of the work and the material, about their quality, promotion and constructional operation method. So specifications nothing but detailed description of that particular activity or that particular material, which gives us nature about the quality, then proportion and constructional operational methods. Uh, that is the first item on which your rate will depend, that is specifications. Second is nothing but quantity of material and their costs. Okay, as I said earlier, if you are going to purchase any material in a big amount or in a huge quantity, okay, then definitely you will get that money at a lower price as compared with the market price, or as compared with suppose a small quantity you are going to purchase. For the smaller quantity of the materials, there will be no bargaining, but if you are going to take a huge quantity for the material, then definitely there is some kind of bargaining which will help you, that material you will get at a lower price. Okay, then cost of the labors and their wages, that is another part which affects the rate of the item. Then location of the site of the work and distances from the source and convenience charges. Okay, so from which distance I am going to handle my particular work, that is again important because that will affect the rate. If the transportation charges, if these are at a longer distance, then you require extra or additional transportation charges that will ultimately increase the cost of the project. Okay, then overhead charges and establishment charges, then profit. Again, these parameters depends, or these parameters will definitely play a major role in deciding the rate of particular item of the work, definitely. Okay, because one more thing, always remember, in our construction sector we follow the rule which is applicable all over the world for any business. Your benefit by cost ratio should be greater than 1 always. If you want to become a good entrepreneur or good businessman, keep the thing in the mind, your benefit by cost ratio should be greater than 1. Okay, that means if your investment is 1 rupees, then definitely your output or the net profit should be 1 plus whatever the profit you are getting. 1 is nothing but your initial investment, na? So that you need to recover, but along with that you have to recover some profit for that particular work. Only profit, excluding which, that profit is excluding all other expenditures. Okay, clean and clear profit we are having. Okay, that means there will be no wages, labor wages, there will be no material cost. Already this has been included in your 1 rupees. Okay, so benefit by cost ratio बांधकामामध्ये आपल्याला प्रॉफिट हा एक महत्वाचा भाग आहे आपल्या सेक्टरमध्ये. कुठल्याही सेक्टरमध्ये जावा की ज्याचा रेशो हा नेहमी 1च ठेवता आला पाहिजे तुम्हाला. ज्याचा रेशो 1 पेक्षा कमी गेलाय त्याचा बिझनेस संपलाय. ठीक आहे, इट इज व्हेरी सिंपल कन्सेप्ट. Now the next part, the factors which affect the rate analysis for civil works. And as far as our construction industry is considered, which factors will affect the rate analysis? First is nothing but the specification of the civil work and the materials. such as quality of the materials, proportion of material, mortar or the concrete, then thickness of plastering, number of coats of the paints, depth of excavation, type of soil. Okay, some examples I have just given. Okay, so specification, definitely it will affect the civil work, and it will affect your rate analysis, because as the specification gets changes, your tender value will get changed. Okay, how it has been there? It is very simple. Suppose you have taken one work, you have filed the tender, and you got that particular job in your hand. So at the time of filling up the tender, you have mentioned that you are using 43 grade of cement, which will cost around 270 rupees per bag. Okay, but after that, you realize that 43 grade of cement you are not getting, or there is some problem with that cement. So you have decided to change the specification. That means to change the material. Now you are going with 53 grade of cement, which is having the higher cost as compared with the 43 grade cement. Not much more difference is there, but slight difference is there between the two particular cements. Your 43 grade around 280 270. Okay, in bulk quantity again you will get at a lower price, and 53 grade 280 plus, definitely around 300 310 it may also, because cement rates are also changed daily. It is not like that every day or for a month it remain constant. Okay, these rates are varying weekly, maybe daily again I can say, because everywhere you are going to see the difference. It will definitely depend on the production and the requirement. See, the rate of any item, uh, not related with the civil or it is related with the civil, it will totally dependent on the market requirement and the production. Okay, the two parameters are important. What capacity you are having to produce that product, and in which manner, that is quality, quantity, and what is the demand from the market. So based on the demand or the requirement, the rates will definitely vary. If you are having the more demand, rate will going to increase. If you are having a lower demand, definitely you have to curtail down the rates. Okay, so every day the rates are going to be changed. Every week, every month, I can say, the rates are going to be changed for the our construction materials also. Okay, not that much huge difference. Once again, please remain. But definitely there is slight difference in rupees, or maybe by 5 rupees difference, 10 rupees difference. The rates are going to be varied. Then location of the construction site. In this, the distance of the construction site from the source of materials, availability of the labors, availability of the water, machineries will influence the rate analysis for construction work. Okay. So in the location of construction site, we'll focus on sources of materials and its availability. Okay, which includes your labor, water, electricity, whatever the basic requirements for that construction site. Okay, you should have some electrical connections, electricity arrangement should be there. You should have some availability of the waters for the drinking purpose as well as for the hand washing. Then the laborers who are living on that particular site. Okay, for the domestic purpose you require the water. Then quantity of the materials, third point, which will affect the rate analysis. Quantity of the materials, number of different types of labors, and rates of materials and labors influence the rate analysis. Okay, again the same part we are going to discuss the number of different types of labors. You may find there may be different categories of the labors which will work on the site. Some labors are skilled, some labors are unskilled, some labors are specially allocated for the specific work. Okay, like centering contractors, they are just doing the work of centering only. Apart from that, they are not interested to do any work. Shuttering contractors, painting contractors, plastering contractors. So these are specified works. Okay, and they are specialized person who are dealing with them. Okay, so number of different types of the labors as well as their categories will influence the rate analysis. Then profit of the contractor, miscellaneous expenses and other overhead charges also influence the rate analysis. Again, the same point we have covered up. What is the purpose of this analysis of the rate? Uh, to work out the actual cost per unit of the items, we have to determine the actual cost. Then to work out the economical use of materials and processes in completing the particular item. Okay, for the economical use of materials and processes, this analysis of rate will help us. Now, how it has been there, I can just give you one example. Suppose in your concrete, rather than casting a conventional concrete, you are going to cast a special category of the concrete. We called it as, maybe it involves fly ash. Okay, we are going to replace our cement by fly ash. It's a basic change we can do. Okay, because fly ash is also having the same properties as that of cement. It's a good replacing material we are having. 30% fly ash we can replace along with the cement. Okay, classy and class of category of the fly ash. So if you are going to see the cost of fly ash, that is again on the lower side as compared with the cement. So making, suppose cost of construction of 1 meter cube. Do you know the cost of 1 meter cube concrete, or one brass of concrete? I can say not one brass, 1 meter cube. चलो 1 meter cube concrete ची cost किती आहे सध्या? कशावरती डिपेंड असते? If anyone is having answer, you can put in the chat box. What is the cost of concrete nowadays for 1 meter cube for different grades? Huh? Uh, you are having some task. If you are having, if you know the answer, you can give me in the chat box. I will check it. Else, I will tell you. The current market price I can share with everyone. The cost of concrete is around 5,000 rupees. Okay, around 5,000 rupees per meter cube. 5,000च्या आसपास चालू आहे सध्या रेट. ठीक आहे, आणि त्यापेक्षा प्लस मायनस असेल, मे बी 5% or plus 10% or minus 10%. Okay, but around 5,000 that rate is there. Somebody has given answer, I think 55 present. I thought somebody has given the answer. So around 5,000 rupees is there per cost. So if you are going to use the flash, the concrete which involves the flash, you require a lesser amount. Not that much drastic changes there, but around maybe you can save your 500 to 1,000 rupees per meter cube. Okay, because cost of flash is on the lower side. That is naturally available material. Suppose cement cost of per kg is around 6 rupees, 6 to 7 rupees. Now I think it is up to 8 rupees. Cost of flash is just 3 to 4 rupees per kg. Okay, that is the big difference between them. And it's a naturally available waste material we are having. Okay, not naturally available, I can say artificially available, because flash has been collected through the chimneys in the industries, and then it is been processed with the different sizes, like the particle size with respect to cement, with respect to fine aggregate and all that. Then to revise, next purpose is to revise the schedule of rates due to increase in the cost of material and labor, or due to the change in the technique. Now, if your labor cost or material cost is going to be changed due to some incidences or due to some happenings on the site, environmental conditions on the site, then definitely you have to revise your schedule of rates. Okay, that means whatever the estimate you have prepared, you have to revise it. And for the same purpose, we require some, and we will take the help of analysis of the rates. I can share you at the end of this lecture some Excel sheets which I have prepared for the site, on my particular site. Okay, how the analysis of rates is being given. So we will discuss the furthermore part of this same topic. Just a minute. Okay. Before heading towards this particular part, task work, now we will go with the rate analysis problems and how we are going to solve this. Okay. But before that, I can share some PPTs with you. This task work, this is one part which will take your 4 marks. Definitely there is one MCQ on this, and there will be a short note of 3 to 4 marks on this task work. This is the last part we are going to discuss. But before that, whatever the concept we have gone through, that is analysis of rate. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll begin with the problems which are associated with this. Some basic history or theoretical part we have gone through. Now, if you are having any problem still, you can ask me. I will give you 1 minute to ask your queries. Otherwise we will proceed for the problems, and then we will again coming back to the remaining theoretical part. But analysis of rates, I think we are having problems with this. Just check. Meanwhile, if you are having any query, you are having 1 minute, you can check. Anyone has having any doubt, or shall we proceed for the problems? If no doubt, we will proceed for the problems. I just want to check whether you are having any problem. Okay, let's move towards the problem. Okay, so we'll moving towards the problems, the rate analysis. Okay, just a minute, students. I will just check which problem I can take for you at the beginning, and then we can proceed towards the final. Okay, sure. Ah, so we are having this problem. My screen is visible to everyone now. Okay, so how the problems are there? I just take that problems for you. Shall we start? Everybody is having notebook and pen with yourself so that you can note down the problem, and at the same time I will discuss also. Please keep notebook, pen, calci with you so that I can give you some highlights how to calculate the problem, how to solve these problems which are associated with rate analysis. See, there will be weightage of 8 marks, 4 to 8 marks mandatory. There will be weightage of 4 to 8 marks for such problems, uh, and they can ask any category of the work. Okay, it may be PCC, it may be RCC, it may be brickwork, painting, plastering. So you just have to prepare the rate analysis chart. Okay, or you just have want to calculate the quantity which has been required. Okay, so how it has been there, I can show you. See, this is the first problem that we are going to discuss. You can note down the problem also. Prepare the rate analysis for PCC of grade M15. Prepare the rate analysis of PCC of grade M15. Okay. Now everybody, please listen first, and then if you are having still any doubt, then you can ask me. Now we have to prepare the rate analysis. Rate analysis means we are going to determine the cost which is required for making that particular activity. Okay, that means in this problem they said us that you have to prepare the rate analysis for PCC work. For PCC, which grade of concrete they have used? They have used M15 grade of concrete. So for PCC of M15 grade, uh, how much quantity that we require? See, only 10 minutes are left, but still at the end of this lecture, you can rejoin the lecture using the same link. I will just use the pointer. See, uh, just a minute, I will take it. See the problem which has been asked was, okay, prepare rate analysis for PCC of M15 grade. Okay, M15 grade ची PCC आहे, ठीक आहे, आणि यासाठी आपल्याला क्वांटिटी डिटरमाइन करायची. We have to determine the quantity. Now, as far as the PCC is considered, which quantity we require? Basically, we will begin and we will go very slowly so that you will come to know what is rate analysis and how, in which manner we are going to do it. Actually, what they have asked us, we have to determine the rate analysis for the PCC. Now, as its PCC stands for plain cement concrete, that is concrete. So your concrete involves cement, your concrete involves sand, and your concrete involves your coarse aggregate. Correct? These are the major quantities for that particular concrete. Okay. So if concrete is there, you need to calculate these three quantities mandatory. If concrete is asked, that is prepare the rate analysis for concrete, so you have to determine the quantity of cement, you have to determine the quantity of sand and the quantity of coarse aggregate, that is your, त्याला आपण खडी असं म्हणतो. ठीक आहे. मग आता आपल्याला पीसीसी मध्ये ह्या तीन गोष्टी फाइंड आउट करायच्या आहेत. आता M15 ग्रेडचं कॉन्क्रीट आहे. M15 ग्रेडच्या कॉन्क्रीटचा प्रोपोर्शन काय असतो रे? जनरली फॉर M15 ग्रेड विच प्रोपोर्शन वी आर गोइंग टू फॉलो? 1:2:4. I think everybody is familiar and everybody knows which proportion is used for which grade of concrete. If you don't have any idea, please tell me. I will again explain you. Because in many problems, this proportion is not given. Okay, so you have to be very accurate in that. Otherwise, for M15, if you select the wrong proportion, then your problem will going in a wrong direction. Your steps are correct, but your proportion is wrong, so problem is going to wrong. If you don't know, please tell me. Again, I will revise for M5 grade up to starting from M5 to M25. And then from M25 onwards, that is M30, M35, we will design the proportion. Okay. So conventionally, basically for M5 grade of concrete, we use 1:5:10 proportion. Somebody has put some queries. I just want to check. Yes. For M5, our proportion is 1:5:10. Then for M10, anyone can tell me for M10 what is the proportion? For M10, the proportion is 1:3:6 or 1:4:8. 1:3:6 or 1:4:8. Then for M15, it is 1:2:4. For M20, it is 1:1.5:3. For M25, it is 1:1:2. Okay, 1:1:2. So up to that only, and again in the examination also, you will get the grade of concrete from M10 or M15 to M25. Okay, or if they given us high strength concrete, that is M40 onwards, then definitely they will specify you the proportion also. But if it is in between M5 to M25, you should have the knowledge about the proportion. Okay. So for M15 grade of concrete, our proportion is 1:2:4. That is 1 part of cement, 2 parts of sand, and 4 parts of the coarse aggregate. I hope everyone is familiar with this. And now we have to prepare the rate analysis for the same. Now, what is the first step? What is the first step? Now, first step in such solving such problem is to consider the quantity of the PCC. Okay, you have to consider if in the problem they haven't mentioned, prepare the rate analysis for PCC of M15 grade for 1 meter cube, for 10 meter cube, for 100, for 1000, or so on. But if they haven't mentioned the quantity, for how much quantity we have to prepare, okay, then in that case you have to assume that quantity. Now it may happen that somebody will assume 1 meter cube, somebody will assume 10 meter cube, but don't assume 5 or 7 meter cube, somebody will assume 7 meter cube. No. Okay, so for the solving purpose in the problems in university questions also, okay, either you select 1 meter cube or you can go for 10 meter cube. Huh? Just keep the thing in the mind while working on the set practically. You have to you have to determine the quantity with respect to the sizes. Suppose for this slab, the length is 10 feet, width is 12 feet, and the thickness of the slab is 6 inches. Okay. So determine the quantity of concrete that is to be required. Only PCC, apart from reinforcement. Reinforcement we will discuss it afterward. Okay. Reinforcement for this slab is around just 0.8 to 1%. Okay. So you can deduct that also. So what will be the quantity that you are getting? Can anybody tell me the calculation? 10 feet by 12 feet multiplied by 6 inches. Inches you have to convert it in feet. Okay. So do the changes accordingly and tell me for a single slab panel how much quantity you require. See, such fast calculations you need to do while working on the site. Okay. Because size is with you. आजही मुलं फोन करतात, छान वाटतं, खूप अभिमानाने फोन करतात, सर स्लॅब दिलेला आहे. वन ऑफ माय स्टुडंट हु इज वर्किंग इन शापूरजी पालुमजी, आय एम व्हेरी हॅपी, बट at the time of interview, that panelist interviewer panel, they have asked him one question, very simple question. See, the size of the slab panel is 10 feet by 12 feet by suppose 6 inches. The same question which I have asked you. Okay, so how much quantity of the concrete that you require? Only concrete quantity. Left all other parameters, assumptions aside. It is 10 by 12, that is 120 square feet. Correct? Multiplied by 6 inches. Inches you have to convert it in feet. How you are going to convert? 12 इंचाचा 1 फूट होतो. माहिती सर्वांना? किती इंचाचा 1 फूट होतो? 12 इंचाचा. मग 6 इंच म्हणजे किती फूट झालं? अर्धा फूट म्हणजे 0.5. So 10 into 12 multiplied by 0.5. ठीक है? So how much quantity that you require? In cubic feet or in meter cubic or in meter cube? Anything you can take. Okay, anything you can take. That means you can take the dimensions as suppose 10 10 फूट आहे म्हणजे जवळपास 3 मीटर बाय 4 मीटर ही स्लॅबची रूमची साईज आहे, मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 0.1 किंवा 0.15. 0.1 4 इंचाचा स्लॅब असेल तर 0.15 6 इंचाचा, म्हणजे 1 इंच म्हणजे माहिती ना 2.5 सेंटीमीटर, 25 mm. मग 100 mm चा किती इंच झाले? 4 इंच. 100 mm म्हणजे 0.1 मीटर. मी डायरेक्टली मीटर मध्ये तुम्हाला सांगितले. हे कन्व्हर्जन्स खूप फास्ट झाले पाहिजेत तुमच्या आता. ठीक आहे, कारण स्लॅबचा थिकनेस असतो इंचामध्ये, स्लॅबचे डायमेन्शन्स असतात फूट आणि फुटामध्ये किंवा ह्याच्यामध्ये मीटरमध्ये. शक्यतो प्लॅन जे असतात तुम्हाला साईटवरचा, हा आपला हातातला प्लॅन हा मीटरमध्ये दिलेला असतो, आणि एक्झिक्युशन करणारी जी आपली टीम असते, लेबरची टीम, ती मीटर आणि फूटमध्ये जास्त करून डील करत असतात, जास्तीत जास्त फूटमध्ये. ठीक आहे, फूट इंच हे त्यांचे पॅरामीटर्स असतात लेबर्सचे. त्यामुळे आपल्याला ते कन्व्हर्जन तितक्या फास्ट आलं पाहिजे. याने कुणाला उत्तर मिळाले किती येते क्वांटिटी? इफ आय कॅन डू 3 by 4 by 0.15, किती क्वांटिटी ती बघूया आपण. मी कॅल्क्युलेट करतो इथे. 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 0.15. Quantity is 1.8 मीटर क्यूब. किती ती क्वांटिटी? 1.8 मीटर क्यूब. ठीक आहे. हे एका स्लॅबसाठी मी जनरल क्वांटिटी सांगितली, मीटर क्यूब मध्ये सांगितली. फुटामध्ये तुम्ही क्युबिक फीट मध्ये घ्या जसे डायमेन्शन असते. सो आपल्याला कन्सिडर करायची आहे आधी त्याची क्वांटिटी. इफ इट इज नॉट गिवन, प्लीज क्लिअर दिस इन युअर माइंड. If the quantity is not given, you can assume the quantity as 1 meter cube or 10 meter cube. Okay, you can assume any. प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये एका विद्यार्थ्याने 1 मीटर क्यूब अज्यूम करून क्वांटिटी फाइंड आउट केली आणि दुसऱ्याने 10 मीटर क्यूब अज्यूम करून क्वांटिटी फाइंड आउट केली. ठीक आहे, दोघांचंही उत्तर सेम, दोघांचंही उत्तर ग्राह्य धरलं जातं. ठीक आहे, कारण ती क्वांटिटी तिथे त्या प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये मेन्शन केलेली नसते. पण जी रेंज तुम्हाला कन्सिडर करायची आहे अझम्पशन साठी ती 1, 10 आणि 100 अशी कन्सिडर करा. असं मधला कुठलाही डिजिट घेऊ नका. Please rejoin the lecture using the same link. Less than 1 minute is there, so please rejoin the lecture using the same link and rejoin it fast so that we can conclude some part of the problem. Please rejoin. I hope the time is less than 1 minute for this. So you need to select the you need to assume the quantity as 1 meter cube or 10 meter cube. Generally या दोन पैकीच एक अज्यूम करा आणि दोन्ही उत्तर बरोबर असतात. ठीक आहे, कोणी 1 मीटर क्यूबनी क्वांटिटी काढली तरी प्रॉब्लेम हा बरोबर, कारण तपासणाऱ्या शिक्षकाचं ते तितकं नॉलेज असतं की ती क्वांटिटी अज्यूम केलेली आहे. ठीक आहे, कारण प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये क्वांटिटी अशी